Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Last time we drew a mouth with Prismacolor colored pencils. The time before that we drew a nose, and the time before that we drew an eye. Well, now we're going to put those all together and draw an entire face. What you'll need for today, you will need a pencil for sketching, an eraser, and a reference. You will also need some Bristol board or some good quality paper, or any paper if you're a beginner and you don't really have all these expensive supplies. You might notice that I also have a light board here. I won't be using that today because I'll be showing you how to draw this without using the light board. You can use a light board if you want to get everything just in the right place. I sometimes do this as well if my sketch doesn't end up the way I like it. After several amendments, after several retries, I will just resort to a light box, but I always try to do it manually first. Using a light box to get perfect guidelines, it's not cheating, it's a way to practice getting things right. Because if you use the light box and you draw this like 10 times, afterwards you're going to be able to get pretty close without using it, because you know, oh, I drew this here and here, that this is where things line up. It's useful for that. Anyway, let's get started on showing you how to draw this. So first of all, I'm going to show you actually on my reference. So with this lovely lady here, what I would do is you make a circle where the circle ends right at the top lip, so it goes round like this. You probably can't see this, but make a circle like that, and then you make this sort of U shape for the jaw, and it lines up with your circle. And you then bring a line down right in the middle, like that. And then in the middle of the circle you do another line like this. That's the eye line. It should go directly in the middle of where the eyes are. Just like that. Okay, that's a simple guideline to do. Now I'm going to do it on this piece of paper so you can see. Now this basic guidelines for a face. You can go more detailed, and I'll show you that as well. I highly recommend going more detailed than this, especially if we're doing realistic drawings. You want to be as detailed as possible in your guidelines before you start your colour on this, okay? So we're going to go in again to our guidelines, add some more. Now, yes, this line here is where the centre of the eye is. You can also, if you want, draw another little line right above it where the upper eyelid will be, and then one directly below it where the lower lid will be. Completely optional. You don't need to do those lines. Now, you can do another line right here, another horizontal line right here, because this is where the end of the nose will be. Right at the bottom. This will be right here on your reference. And then right where the bottom of your circle is, that's where the top of the mouth will be. So we can just put in a small little line like that. Now remember, when you're making your guidelines, do not press hard into the paper. You do not want to harm your paper at this stage, especially at this stage, because after we've done all this, we're just going to erase these lines so we can hardly see them. And you do not want to lean so hard on the paper that you cannot erase the line. Okay? I mean, that's okay if you're doing your sketch on a separate piece of paper and then you're using a light box to use another piece of paper on top of that to line, but we're not doing that today, so don't lean hard when you're making these guidelines. It's imperative that you do not lean hard. Okay. Now just below that, we can do another line, depending on how big the lips are. You can generally tell if you place your pencil kind of like this and you just sort of visually measure where the line should be. So mine should be right about there, and I've got it correct. I've done it so much by now that I can do it by sight, but when you're learning, use a pencil and it will tell you how far each aspect of the face will be, so you can get your proportions correct. Yeah? It's very, very handy. So I'll do it again here. So the lip is there, and then so in here it's about right there. So we do that. It's about here. So we put in the third line for the mouth right there. Okay, and then that should give us plenty of space for her chin. I think I've actually got too much space for her chin. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes right now, because we're just doing guidelines. It doesn't have to be perfect, unless you're doing photorealism. We're just doing realism. Yeah, see, I've got far too much of a space here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to erase this line up to the point where it should actually be, which is right here. So we're just going to redraw that U shape right there. And now it's much more proportionate. Okay, now for her eyes, we're going to measure. Okay, her left, well, our left, her right eye should be about this long, and it should be just about here. So we're just gonna draw a circle right here, measure. Seems about correct. Our other eye should be about the same size, which it is, but it's going to be a little further over in here because it's a little further away from our guideline. So it's going to be about here. So, yeah. So it's about that much space between the two. Got a little too far over. That's okay, we'll fix that. Circle right there. Okay, the circle right here. There we go. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw in the nose So her nose ends roughly about here. Her nose should be about this much in length. We've got that correct. So what we're going to do is we're just going to draw in her nostril, which should be just around about here. And then her other nostril kind of goes like this. And that should be that. Now let's measure the width of her nose. Again, it goes to about here on my pencil. We've drawn it a little too small, so what we're going to do is we're just going to move this over just a touch. Okay, just a touch, just like that. Gotta account for this little shape right here as well, and the same with over here. For her lips, generally, okay, actually what we're going to do is we're going to draw in the eyes because it'll make it much easier to draw the mouth once we've done the eyes. So with this big circle, the two circles that we drew, what we're gonna do, did not mean for that to rhyme, is we're going to draw in the upper eyelid. So this middle line, this is where you want to start off with, on your middle line, like right here. So we're going to start off with here, and then we're just going to go up. Okay, now that we've done the eyes, what is really great about the eyes is the corners of the mouth are directly in line with the eye. Now because her iris is over here to the side of her eye, it's not going to line up with the corner of the mouth. But look at what happens. So we do that straight up. I think we've got it straight up. It's usually best to have a ruler to do this. I'm just doing it by sight. So we know that this corner of her mouth is in relation to this part here of her eye. So if we draw this line down here, this corner of her mouth should be here. And on a reference, this line goes through her pupil down and meets up with the corner of her mouth. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Okay, and we know now where the edges of her mouth should be because we've matched it up from here and on here. So now we'll just curve the upper lip up, and then it dips for the cupid bow, comes back up right here. Just going to raise these lines a little bit because it's getting a little too dark for my liking. So I'm just going to redraw that up, and it comes down where the middle line is, and then it goes back up, and then it goes down again and joins up with this corner of her mouth. Now, middle of her lip, kind of, again, it kind of curves up towards the middle, then it goes down like that, and then it goes back up, and then it comes back down to here. I'm leaving it a little harder so you guys can see, but don't go any darker than this, otherwise you will start to harm your paper. And then the bottom lip, bottom lip, and kind of just curves down around here, and it goes back up. And it doesn't, I don't make the bottom lip touch because it doesn't really touch all that much. There. Just like making a little indentation right there. Okay. Now, just drawing in the upper eyelid lines for her eyes. Okay. Now for her eyebrows, this eyebrow it's kind of like a leads would away from there, and it is about that much away, so it should end about here. So it goes over, kind of goes over there and gets lost in the shadows, so it doesn't matter too much how we end it right there. So it kind of it's kind of like that bit of a shape, like that. So now, you might be wondering, should I draw in the shadows? Is that a thing I should do? That's an excellent question, and it depends. It's really up to you if you want to do it, if you want to map out where your shadows are. It does have a practical use, so we're going to do it today. So, where the shadows are, is it kind of up here on her forehead, it's kind of like right about here, and then it kind of goes up to where her hair is, like right there. So I'm going to show you on here first. So we'll count this area here as like sort of a shadow, so kind of like that, and then it goes down like right down the middle of the nose, and goes in like that, kind of a squiggly shape right here. And then right here in the cupid's bow, right there, kind of goes over right there and ends about there. Here, there's a big area like right here that's kind of lighter than the rest, so you can always include that if you want. Like that. At the bottom of the lip, you've got a shadow kind of like right here, at the same kind of squiggly shape you got here on the nose. So kind of like look like that. Okay, on her actual lips, it's kind of like over here, and like that, it kind of joins up there. Then there's a light area up here underneath her eyebrow, like right here, you might wanna, and on her upper lid as well, right there. Over here is kind of like this. Okay, so we'll do that on here. Now that we've done that, we are officially ready to erase all of these lines that we just created. And that's okay, because we're not erasing them entirely, we're just erasing them to the point where we just cannot see them anymore. Anyway, thank you for watching this tutorial on guidelines for a realistic drawing. We're not doing photorealistic, we're just doing a realistic drawing I'll see you in the next one. Bye!